One thing that has become very clear to me, and I start to talk about it a lot. So reading, recently I started reading O-Sensei's book, Aikido, and the book of his lectures. You can see I read it a lot. Anyway, maybe we'll translate something, but one thing that he repeats and repeats, and it's something which I've intuited, but now I see that he says it, actually. Aikido has come, how can I say it? Well, for instance, in one lecture he says very simply, Aikido has come to clear away, to purify the world from the darkness and heaviness of the Second World War. For instance, that's the kind of thing he says again and again. And he says it more generally too, for humankind, for all time. Now, that, and there are other statements too, like that. That's just the one recently. I was just reading one lecture where he says that, so it's in my mind. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, yeah, I mean, why do you practice? You practice for yourself. Right? You know practice for yourself. What do you practice for? But, in Aikido, there is a key phrase which goes, Masakatsu, agatsu hayani. Absolutely fundamental phrase to the practice of Aikido. Now, this translates as true victory is victory over the self. Then that's the first part. Now, if you think about that, there are several things that come out of that statement. One is the very question of victory, winning. Because in all other Budo, you have a winner and a loser. Even in the soft Chinese style. Essentially, the attack is received and encountered. Now, the way people usually interpret that is, yes, if I can conquer myself, then I'll be really good. That's the secret to being no. Okay. So that self that thinks it has to attain something, be something, do something, get something, that self which makes strategies to do that, is the self which must disappear in Aikido. And the practice should help that to happen. Now, there's another thing that brings up a statement about senseis which I've been talking about recently. And it has to do with, well, the words in Japanese are Fusoku and Mansoku. So our strategy to get something, which is what our normal self is occupied with all the time, comes from the feeling that it needs something that it doesn't have, right? Otherwise it wouldn't have to get it. And that very trying to get creates, from a standpoint of Bu, the opening which allows you to be defeated. Ski. And that aspect of the self, or the psychology of the self, which is involved in what we spend most of our time doing, which is strategizing to get something. Or to say in Buddhism, acceptance and rejection. We want that, we don't want that. Right? That is expressed in Aikido by the attack. Now, what O-Sensei says about that, well, and of course at the highest level, O-Sensei says, the minute the person thinks to attack, he has broken the unity of the universe and he has already lost. But leaving that aside, because that's what O-Sensei is talking about, and this is really interesting. He says, in Aikido, you make the feeling of lack, of need, of want, which is expressed by the word Fusoku, Mansoku, that is fulfilled. You fulfill your partner's need. You fulfill their, what is unfulfilled, whatever is unfulfilled in them, that would lead to the attack. And the Aikido technique is an expression of that. It does that. It's through the relationship of Aiki, through the Aiki technique. So again, is that trying to be strong yourself? Is that trying to have good technique? Is that trying to have a higher grade? That trying to say, well, life is such that, you've got to be good. If you're not good, you lose. So you win by learning how to have good techniques in Aikido. You have good techniques in life. So, actually, in the relationship of the Aiki with a partner, you are giving what was left.